Hey, welcome to The Explainer. We're all about taking tricky topics and breaking them down into clear guides that you can actually use.
So, you're gearing up for your corporate trainer certification. Awesome. You have definitely come to the right place. Think of this as your high-speed study guide. We're going to cover the absolute must-know concepts you'll need to master, not just to pass that exam, but to really crush it in your career. So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through the entire life cycle of a training program, from start to finish, exactly how you'll need to know it for the test. We'll start with the why, the business reason, then get into design, delivery, and finally, how you make sure it all actually sticks. Okay, let's jump right in. All right, let's kick things off with the absolute foundation. Section 1, the why. This is all about the strategic need. On your exam, you're going to have to nail this question. From a business standpoint, why do we even do corporate training? What's the point? Okay, this slide right here, this is basically your cheat sheet for the value of training. For the exam, you've got to remember, training is not a cost. It's an investment. Think about it. You boost someone's skills, and what happens? Their productivity goes up. You offer real career development, and guess what? Your best people stick around. It creates this amazing ripple effect that touches everything from customer satisfaction to the bottom line. This is such a great quote, and here's the really cool idea behind it. Look, a competitor can totally copy your product. They can even rip off your marketing campaign. But what they can't easily copy is a workforce that's highly skilled, super motivated, and just plain good at what they do. That becomes your secret weapon, a competitive edge that's almost impossible to replicate. Okay, so we've got our why. Now let's build on that and move into section 2, the blueprint. Now that we know why we're training, we need a solid plan for how we're going to design something that actually works. Okay, I need you to lean in for this one. I can almost guarantee you are going to see these two models on your certification exam. They are the bread and butter of instructional design, and you absolutely have to know the difference between them and, more importantly, how they work together. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. The easiest way to remember this: Bloom's tells you what you're trying to achieve. Are we just asking people to remember something, or are we pushing them to analyze, evaluate, or even create something new? ADD, on the other hand, is the how. It's your step-by-step recipe for building the whole program. Now, when you're studying ADDIE, please remember, it's not a one-and-done straight line. It's a loop, a cycle. That last step, evaluation, is the powerhouse. Everything you learn in that final step, what worked, what didn't, it feeds right back into the analysis for your next project. That's how you get better and better over time. All right, moving right along to section 3, the build-out. You've got your blueprint from ADDIE, you know what you want to achieve. Now it's time to actually build the thing and decide how you're going to get it to your audience.
Yes, death by PowerPoint. We've all been there, right? This is a classic rookie mistake, and it's a huge concept for your exam. What happens is you're forcing your audience's brains to do two things at once: read your giant wall of text and listen to you talk. And guess what? The human brain is terrible at that. A pro uses keywords and great visuals on the slide and uses their voice to tell the stories and provide the context.
So here's the big takeaway from this, and you'll want to remember this. There is no one-size-fits-all best way to deliver training. It just doesn't exist. The method you choose has to match the goal. Need safe practice for a surgeon? You use a simulation. Need a quick refresher on a process? Microlearning is your friend. A pro trainer, the kind you're about to be, knows how to look at the situation and pick the right tool from the toolbox for that specific job. Okay, let's get into the live action stuff. Section 4, the performance. You can have the best materials in the world, but if you can't manage a live session, it all falls apart. This is the art of facilitation. I love this quote because it gets to the very heart of being a facilitator. Your job isn't just to click through slides. No way. You are the conductor of the orchestra. You are actively managing the energy, the focus, and the engagement in that room, whether it's virtual or in person.
All right, let's play out a little scenario here. This happens all the time. You set a cameras on rule. 5 minutes in, someone's camera goes dark. This is a little test. Everyone in that virtual room is watching to see what you do next. Your response here can literally make or break the rest of the session.
This is the pro move right here, a 4-step playbook. Look, you could ignore it, but then you've just told everyone the rules don't matter. Or you could get angry about it and instantly lose the room. This approach, though, it's the sweet spot. You reinforce the standard for everyone, but you do it in a way that shows you care about the person, not just the rule. It's about support, not policing. And that brings us to the grand finale, the whole point of all this work. Section 5, the payoff. How do we make sure that all this careful design and delivery actually leads to real, lasting change back on the job?
Okay, for your exam, you absolutely have to know the difference between these next two ideas. They sound similar, but they are worlds apart. First up is change. Change is the stuff. It's the new software getting installed, the new workflow, the new policy. It's external, it's an event, and it can happen pretty fast. But transition is totally different. That's the human part. It's that messy, emotional, internal journey that people go on to let go of the old way and get on board with the new way. And unlike change, transition is always slow.
And this chart just nails the difference, doesn't it? This is why so much corporate training fails, by the way. Companies manage the change, they roll out the software, but they totally forget about the human transition. As a certified trainer, your job is to manage both. You teach the new skills for the change, but you also have to guide people through that messy internal transition. So how do you prove your training actually worked? You gotta evaluate it. And I'm not just talking about those "did you like the lunch" feedback forms. I mean real evaluation. Did they actually learn anything? That's your pre- and post-assessments. Are they doing things differently back at their desk? That's where observation comes in. And the big one, did we get a return on our investment? That's how you prove your value. And that question really brings us full circle, doesn't it? Look, passing your certification exam, that's the starting line. It is not the finish line. Your real job, your true purpose, isn't just to be a trainer who delivers content. It's to be a leader of change, a guide, someone who helps people and organizations grow. That's the real goal.